All right, so let's go ahead and go over some facts. All right, let's start. 7 plus 6.
7 plus 6 equals
13, 13, 13.
6 plus 5 equals 11, 11, 11. 3 plus 4 equals 7, 7, 7. 2 plus 7 equals 9, 9, 9.
6 minus 0 equals 6.
6, 6.
2 plus 8 equals 10.
10.
2 minus 0.
Equals 2, 2, 2.
9 minus 1 equals
8.
4 plus 2 equals 6.
6.
7 minus 1 equals 5. 5. Sorry, 6, 6, 6. My bad. 4.
4 minus 0 equals 4. 4, 4.
4 plus 3.
7.
Thank you. 3 minus 1 equals
2, 2, 2.
1 minus 1 equals 0.
0, 0.
1 minus 0 equals
1, 1.
a little faster. 8 plus 8 equals
16, 16.
0 plus 2 equals 5 minus 0 equals
5, 5, 5.
2 plus 9 equals 11, 11, 11. 1 plus 2 equals
3, 3.
3 plus 2 equals 5, 5, 5. Faster. 4 plus 5 equals 9, 9. 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4, 4. 3 plus 3 equals 6, 6, 6. 8 plus 9 equals 17, 17, 17. 8 plus 7 equals 15, 15, 15. 7 plus 8 equals 15, 15, 15. 10 minus 0 equals 10, 10, 10. 4 minus 1 equals 3, 3, 3. 7 minus 0 equals 7, 7, 7. 10 minus 1 equals 9, 9, 9. 5 plus 4 equals 9, 9, 9. 2 minus 1 equals 1, 1, 1. 6 plus 7 equals 13, 13, 13. 5 plus 6 equals 11, 11, 11. 2 plus 10 equals 12, 12, 12. 6 minus 1 equals 5, 5, 5.
9.
Oops, sorry. 7 plus 2 equals 9, 9, 9. 9 plus 8 equals 17, 17. All right, awesome.
You guys weren't even saying it fast.
All right. Yes. Good job with your facts. All right, can you get out a loose leaf paper?
I got a loose leaf paper. Or your pencil is right here. Oh. Hey, why did you touch it? I thought that was your rider. You don't touch people's pencils. That's right. When I give you, I got a pencil.
No, get your. All right, whatever.
I got my tablet.
Mhm.
I love mine. Miss Nugent's just found it yesterday. Yes, it is. Well, no, she found me and Faith. Yeah. No. And savings. Oh, yeah. So you lost it. I just gotta say problem like this. This got ink on it. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you.
All right. So what I would like you to do is create me a story problem with let's see, 23 plus 10.
I don't know what 23 plus 10 is.
You don't? Wow, I could have sworn yesterday we learned plus 10.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's interesting. So give me a story problem with 23 plus 10. Go ahead. I'll give you a few minutes to work on that. Let's hear some of them. Okay.
Tom and Tim had 10 and 20 toys, and Tim took 20 and Tom was mad, so that equals 10.
Supposed to be 23 plus 10.
Oh, 22.
So, okay, I mean, it is a story problem, just the numbers are a little different. Okay, Nariah?
Jolie had 22 toys. She got 10 more. She has 13.
Okay. 23 plus 10 is 13. 23 minus 10. But you have more. Remember, we're doing more, y'all. So she should end up with more. Okay, Kenley?
I had 23 and more. 23 plus 10 equals 33.
Yes. So you had 23. You got 10 more. 23 plus 10 is 33.
I meant it.
Okay.
33.
Okay.
Now gave me 10 footballs, and my dad gave me 23 more. So that makes 30 footballs.
33. Okay, good. Okay. Now let's do a some went away. Story problem. 46 minus 10. 46 minus 10. So I'm losing 10. Y'all practiced this yesterday.
46 minus 10.
Minus 10. We're losing 10. 10 less.
What is the numbers again?
46 minus 10.
Oh, now you gotta go.
Now we're going back. We're going back 10. We already went up.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
Okay, but so 46 minus 10. Minus 10. We're losing 10.
43.
46. Okay, we have anything yet or still not quite?
I got
Okay, go ahead, Dennis, what you have?
John put 46 cats in the house. 10 cats ran away.
Okay, good. How many cats? You said cats? Like an animal?
Yeah.
Okay, how many are left? So how many? 36, okay.
I had 16 46 notebooks. And drew 46 minus 10 equals 36.
Good, okay. Carson?
I had 46 toys and my sister took 10 more, so I had 36 left.
Good, okay, and Mariah?
Shala had 46 candies and her sister took 10. Now she has 36. I'm ready.
Okay, good. All right, awesome. All right, let's look at the board. The little board works so good. I just wanted to practice that adding 10 and losing 10, okay? Got to make sure we know. So it's the same thing like we did yesterday, but this time I just wanted you to put it in story problem form. But it's the same thing, y'all. It was literally the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and tell some time.
What you do is draw a clock. It's half past.
Okay, what's my time?
Oh, I know. I know.
What's my time?
1:30.
1:30. Hours on 1. Half past on that 6. That means 30. Good. If it is the afternoon, we just finished. Oh, I just said it. Never mind. Okay. Next one. Yeah, I had said it when I was talking. I was going to ask if it was afternoon or morning, but I had said it. Okay, what's my time? Time?
It's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and look at my number pattern here. Okay, so 9. I want to count by tens with 9. Count by tens with 9. Where am I going from 9? 19. 9. 19.
29.
Okay, 29. Where am I going from there, Avaya?
39.
Okay, Dennis. Dennis?
49.
49. And then after 49? 59. Good. So I have 3, 13. Where am I going from 3, 13, 23. After 23, 33, 33, 43. Avaya?
53. 63.
53. And then our last one? 63. Good. That's counting by tens with 9 and 3. Oh, and look at that. I have 48 plus 10.
Oh, that was
48 plus 10. What would that equal to? 48 plus 10. 58. 74 plus 10. Avaya?
I know. Put your hand on my face.
84 and 21 plus 10. 21 plus 10.
51.
21 was 10 more. 1, 11, 21,
31.
31. Now we're gonna go back, subtracting. 92 minus 10. 92 minus 10.
82.
82, going back 10. 68 minus 10, losing 10.
58.
58 and 47 minus 10. We're losing 10. 47 minus 10.
37.
37. Awesome. 10 more, 10 less. All right, so today we're going to learn what's called dozen and half a dozen. Have you ever heard of someone say, can I get a dozen of a certain thing? Have you heard of that before, the word dozen? No? No, y'all never, like grocery shop, nothing? So, yeah, like when someone says a dozen donuts, yep, that would be an example. Or they say a dozen of cupcakes, a dozen of cookies, a dozen of eggs.
Pie.
So these are things we buy in the dozen. So if you remember when we talked about pairs, we said a pair is a total of 2. So dozen is kind of one of those words like pair. Dozen means a certain number. Instead of saying the number, you would say the word dozen. So when someone says, I want a dozen of eggs, or a dozen of cupcakes, or a dozen of cookies, a dozen of donuts, that's a total of 12. 12 means a dozen. Okay? So whenever they're saying, can I get a dozen of something, they're asking, can they get 12 of something? So if a full dozen is 12, do you know what half of a dozen would be? It would be half of 12. Now that's a doubles fact.
I know.
You should know what's half of 12 because that's a doubles fact. 6 is half a dozen. So when someone says, can I get a dozen? That's a total of 12. When they say, can I get a half a dozen? That's a total of 6. A dozen is 12. A half a dozen is 6. Again, a dozen is 12. Half a dozen?
6.
Dozen is
12.
half a dozen is
6.
So if I say I want a dozen of donuts, how many is that I want?
12.
And if I say I want a half a dozen of cookies, how many is that? 6.
12.
So a dozen means 12. A half a dozen means 6. So you'll see this in your book tomorrow. That's why I want to go over it today. So a dozen is a total of 12. A half a dozen is a total of 6. Awesome. All right, that's it for math. Let's go to writing. You'll need a little sleep paper to practice our sentences today.
A little sleep paper. I love notebook. You could use mine. No. Oh my god. It's so nice. Miss Tyler? Miss Tyler.
Mr. You didn't learn? We didn't do the titles of respect already?
The second grade did it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we learned that soon.
Mr. Tyler.
All right, so let's look at our sentences. So remember, yesterday we practiced taking out a noun, changing it into a pronoun. So remember the pronouns: he, she, him, her, his, hers, they, them, they, theirs, us, we, our, ours, it, and its for things. So that's what we're gonna do today. So you remember yesterday I had the sentence written down, and then I wanted you to write it down the correct way with the pronoun. So that's what we'll do today. So you are not copying the sentence completely. When you write it over, you are going to write it over with the correct pronoun. Okay? Again, you're gonna write it, but whenever you have this part, the underlined part, you're taking that out to put in a pronoun. So let's look at number 1. Mr. Tyler taught me how to sing. Mr. Tyler taught me how to sing. What is our noun we're taking out? Tell me, what's the noun? We are going to take out Mr. Tyler, and you're going to replace this with a pronoun. Now, we know Mr. means a man, okay? Just in case you didn't know. So go ahead and write this over, but take out Mr. Tyler and put in the correct pronoun, and then you'll write the rest of it. You don't have to write Mr. Tyler, you'll write it with the correct pronoun. So what would be the correct pronoun to replace Mr. Tyler?
He.
What? Don't. Okay, so let's go over this one. So Mr. Tyler taught me how to sing. What should be my pronoun to replace Mr. Tyler, Dennis? How should I have written this over with a pronoun?
He.
He, good. So I hope everyone put he taught me how to sing. And you capitalize that H. And he. He taught me how to sing. Good.
Do we stop at 109 or 10?
For what?
Sorry.
I don't remember. I put it on the
I
board
was apples
yesterday.
because 109.
You're only doing the scientific method. That's it. Once it stops, that's it. Okay, number 2, the horse ran fast. So let's go ahead and take out the horse. Now that's a thing. There are only certain pronouns we use for things. The horse ran fast. So take out the horse and put the correct pronoun. Number 2. All right, so the horse ran fast. So how should I replace the horse noun into a pronoun? It ran fast. Remember, it is the only pronoun that can replace things. A horse is a thing. It ran fast. Is that what everyone did? You put it ran fast. Okay, number 3. Moses and Aaron were brothers. Now, Moses and Aaron are more than one person. They're 2 people. So Moses and Aaron, that's 2 people. Now, you can't say we. You're not Moses and you're not Aaron. So what are the correct pronouns to replace Moses and Aaron were brothers?
They.
Go ahead. Yes, but don't say it out loud. Y'all want you to write it.
I knew it.
Okay, so go ahead and write this one over with the correct pronoun. have a question, Abaya? Or no? You're on mute?
Wait a minute. It's about the sentence.
Uh-huh.
I want to ruin the sentence.
What were you gonna ask? Like you were gonna ask which one, or you were gonna say it to make sure?
Well, I forgot I have to do the first one because I was. Oh wait.
That's okay. Okay.
Do I have to do the first one?
Well, no, it's fine because we had already went over them, so it's okay.
Okay. Mr. Tyler.
If that's a who? Okay, let's go over number 3. Moses and Aaron were brothers. So if I take, excuse me, if I take out Moses and Aaron, what pronoun can I put in place of Moses and Aaron? They were brothers. Good. Yep. A lot. Okay, awesome. So this is what we'll be doing in our test on Thursday. We are going to take out the noun to put in a pronoun. So y'all didn't really go with that today. So I'm sure the test will be easy A. All right, let's move on to phonics.
We need a sheet of paper. Oh, fine. No, we need a fine chart.
Yeah, just 11.
Just 11? Just 11?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey. That was a close one. What?
All right, we'll do chart 11.
I use the
Yeah, and so today's a lot better. Praise the Lord. All right, let's go. Let's do it together. O says in shuffle. A says in banana. C says in city. The other way. AU says in faucet. AW says in saw. EA says in leaf. EA says A in sorry in thread. EA says A
in steak.
IE says E in brownie. EY says E in key. EY says A in obey. PH says
And phone.
CH says in chorus. OUGHT ought in thoughts. AUGHT says ought in caught. G says in giant. GGE says in fudge. Okay. All right, so we're moving on chart 11. Today we're learning OUGHT ought and AUGHT ought. So sooner or later we'll be on chart 12. Yeah. All right, so let's look at our sounds. We have OUGHT ought, AUGHT ought. Now this should be pretty easy. Let's identify the sounds and read the word. No, I'm gonna let you do the other thing. Anybody? First one, what are my sounds? OUGHT ought. What's the word? But. Next one. Sound.
AUGHT.
AUGHT ought. What's the word?
Taught.
Taught.
my pencil failing.
No, it's not. It's in your tablet. Next one, sound.
O-U-G-H-T.
O-U-G-H-T was the word. Fought. And then our last one, not that. That's not that. Dennis.
I was like, ooh.
A-U-G-H-T.
A-U-G-H-T and
E-R.
E-R. What's the word?
Danger.
Ought.
Daughter.
Daughter. Yes. Daughter. Good. So it's A-U-G-H-T ought. O-U-G-H-T. O-U-G-H-T ought.
Yeah, here's the gun in this.
Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at drop. Let's turn drop into dropped. How would I write that the correct way? Drop into dropped. Make sure to follow the rule. You have stuff all over the floor. Drop into dropped. Just throw it away. Good. What did you have to do? Double those P's. Drops. Good. Sharp vowel, consonant P. We double the P. Next, I have bake. Let's turn it into baker. Okay. Okay, what did I need to do?
Take out the E and put ED.
Drop that silent E and then was ER. And add ER, it turns it into baker. Good. Awesome. All right, let's look at rhyming words. So I have south. Can someone give me a word that rhymes with south?
Mouse.
Mouth.
I was gonna say mouth.
I'm sure a lot of people were. Mouth. What about red? A word that rhymes with red. Dead.
I read those.
Smell. What's a word that rhymes with smell? Smell.
Kale.
Kale.
I like
Okay.
kale. No.
What?
She said, kale.
No. Okay, homonyms. Remember, homonym is when we have two words that sound the same, but they are spelled different and they mean different things.
I
All
know.
right, give me some examples of some homonyms.
Two.
2 and 2. To the number 2. Like I will go to the store. Avaya.
Bye.
Buy and buy. Buy like buy my product or buy like goodbye. Good. Buy and buy.
Wait, Mom. What's the homonym that you gave me that?
2 and 2.
Joshua.
2. Son and son.
Son and son. Son like your mom. If you're a boy, you're her son. And sun like the sun in the sky. Okay.
Oh.
One more. Dennis.
She did have you.
Oh, I know. Bun in your hair and a bun like this.
You have one, Dennis? No? Still thinking?
I got one. I want
Okay. What you got?
C.
C and C. C like I can see with my eyes. And C like the ocean. C. Awesome.
They have 3 buys. Just for some. Under
Yeah.
the sea.
All right, good. All right, let's go ahead and move on to writing.
Writing.
That's not what I meant to say. I meant
It's
to say.
writing.
Sorry, guys.
Reading. I like this book because it's so
All right, so yesterday we introduced our story. We were introduced to Balto, who was a sled dog. Balto lives in Nome, Alaska. This is the year 1925, so things were a lot different. It was very cold in Nome, a lot of ice in Nome, so they used dog sleds a lot to be able to get to and from be able to do different things. So in this, we're going to continue on today on page 10, and we'll talk about a problem that will occur in Gnome and what's going to happen. Like what will they try to do to resolve the issue?
I'm ready to read. Students, my bulletin book's coming today, but it's coming at 9 p.m. at night.
Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna show it like on here. Like I'll show like the pictures on here.
And I need signs or social. Don't touch my pencil. Where's my pencil? Yeah, I already did it. But I had the other one.
Oh, Aesop's Fables? Okay, yeah, that's our next one after Balto.
Aesop Fables. That's silly.
I don't know.
Third edition. I know that pencil was not there because I just saw your pencil roll down there, so it's somewhere in there.
All right, let's go ahead. So let's continue reading, okay? You'll do 10 and 11. I'm going to show it here for y'all to follow along.
One cold winter day, a terrible thing happened in Gnome. 2 children got very sick. Their parents called the doctor. He was the only doctor in the world, the whole town.
Good. All right. So in Gnome, unfortunately, one of these winter days, a very bad thing happens. 2 children get very sick. Now, just like, okay, so at that time, they did have medicine and all of that, but sometimes if a sickness happened that no one knew what to do, it was very dangerous. And keep in mind, Gnome is full of ice, it's full of snow. So this is bad for someone to get sick like that and they don't know what's going on. Not only that, they only have one doctor in the town. So that doctor has to try to figure out on his own how to help those 2 children plus all the other people that may be sick. So yeah, that was a lot of work. Okay, 12. Dennis, you want to read? Your hand is still up, yeah? Oh, no, yes. If you don't have your book, I can show it to you here. You don't want to read? No? Okay. All right, come on. So let's see what the doctor does, or he decides. So I'll show it here.
When the doctor the children, he was very
Worried.
The children had a terrible sickness and was called
Diphthera. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pronounce. Diphthera. It's called Diphthera. That's what they had. Okay. Yes, it's a very bad sickness. The doctor did not have
the name
needed. Good. Okay. All right. So the doctor, when he went to visit the children, he ends up finding out what they have, which is the Diphthera, and he didn't have any medicine to treat them. So this is not good. They only have one doctor. Their town is really far away from other towns. It's ice, it's snow, and he doesn't have medicine, and he's the only doctor. So this is not good. Okay. Let's keep reading. Come on, Faith. Can you put that book away so you can listen to this one? Thank you.
When you told them to put them up.
Without. All right, let's go.
Without the medicine, many other people in Nome would get.
No, this one.
Without the medicine, the children would die. Without the medicine, many other people in Nome would get diphtheria and die too. The doctor knew he had to get some medicine fast.
Good. So yeah, so the doctor knew that if he did not treat these children, they would die. Also, other people in the town could get sick and then it would just be bad. So he's like, we need to get some medicine quick. Okay, let's turn to page 14. Josh, you want to read?
That one? Yes.
Okay.
What's part?
On 14, like the whole thing, the hospital.
Okay. Keep it on the page, Mom.
It's at the bottom. You have it, Joshua, page 14.
The adult was 800 miles away. The doctor and Hudson put the meeting
Medicine.
on the train.
Good. Okay, good. So there was a hospital in another nearby city. It was called Anchorage, Alaska. But Anchorage was over 800 miles away. So that is really far. That was the closest town that had the medicine to Nome. So that wouldn't have been easy for them to get the medicine, right? So the doctors decided, well, let's try to get it as quick as we can. So they put it on a train and they're like, okay, we're going to get the medicine. Let's look at 15. You want to read, Dennis? Yeah? You have?
Our book haven't came yet. Still.
Yeah, but I can show it to you here on the screen. That's what I was saying. Okay, go ahead.
But soon the train got stuck in the deep snow. The train was still 700 miles from Nome.
Okay, so they put it on the train, but then guess what happens to the train?
The train.
It got stuck because I told you it was so much snow in Nome. The train ends up getting stuck in the snow. This is not good, right? Because they really, really need to get that medicine quickly. But now the train that's carrying the medicine is stuck and it's still super far away. It's not like the train was like right there where you're like, oh, well, let's just go get it. No, it was still super far away. So this is not good. The children are sick. The people are worried. The train that was going to help them got stuck. So what will they do? We'll read that tomorrow to figure out. Why you ready? What will they do? We'll go ahead and read some more about that tomorrow. What they decide to do to try to get that medicine to Nome so those children will be okay. All right, so this is where we'll stop today. So let's go ahead and do our science social studies and we'll be done for the day. Let's start with social studies. We're going to a new continent today. New country, but also a new continent.
The other day you told
On the chair.
not to get the pencils that they had from home, but they still got hurt from home. Miss Prudence. What page are we on?
74.
74?
Yep.
Peru. this is 17. You can read the page. I know what happened next. You have to rewatch the end of sanctuary. Go. Hey. Ooh, Peru. If you and I think I know what your picture is. Tell me. In her speech chat. Mommy. I just can't. I do it. Peru? Whatever. How do you even draw Peru?
All right.
She didn't dig deep enough.
All right, so we are moving on to our next country. So we went to Mexico, we went to Canada, which are all located in North America. Here's all of North America. And we visited Canada to the north and Mexico to the south. That's where we were last week. So this week we are moving on to our continent down here, which is called South America. So we have North America up here where we are, and now we're going to travel to South America, which is down here. South America, and we are going to go to the country of Peru. This is Peru right here, Peru. Okay, so have you ever heard of Brazil? You heard of Brazil before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brazil is in South America. No?
No.
I don't know where my continent map is.
I know where's that.
Where? Okay, so Peru is in South America. So let's talk about Peru. In Peru, many people are farmers. So that's a job you will find a lot of people have in Peru. They are farmers. So in Peru, there are people that are many farmers. A lot of the foods that they grow in Peru, we actually eat some of those foods. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. So farmers in Peru grow things like coffee beans. If your parents drink coffee, coffee beans are grown in Peru. Cotton, which we make a lot of clothing from cotton, and they grow that in Peru as well. So those are some of the things. In Peru, they also grow potatoes, bananas, tomatoes sometimes. So these are some of the things that grow in Peru: coffee beans, cotton, tomatoes, bananas, potatoes, all kinds of different types of potatoes. And that's the cool thing. In Peru, they have like over 3,000 different kinds of potatoes. Yeah. 3,000. Red. They have some that look like little gumdrops, some that look like cherries. Over 3,000 different types of potatoes are grown in Peru alone. So a big job in Peru is to become a farmer because there's so many crops to grow in Peru. Llamas are a very common animal in Peru. They use llamas to sometimes carry their goods. Sometimes the women will use some of the fur from a llama. They'll dye it different colors and they'll make clothing from the wool of the llama. As you can see, the lady, that's what she's making on the picture. That's the hair, the wool from a llama, and they dye it different colors and they make different things from that. Okay. Yeah, like different types of clothing. So llamas are similar to camels, but they just don't have the hump, but they're, pretty big as well. So they're used to carry things. And if you don't know llamas, they are pretty stubborn sometimes. And if they don't want to do something that you don't want them to do, that you want them to do, guess what they'll do? Right. Spit on you.
Ew. I saw
llamas are known for spitting. They can spit because they're very stubborn. And if you try to make them move or do something they don't want to do, they'll spit. So I'm sure that's interesting to see how they work with llamas in Peru. The llama's wool is usually used because it's very soft and it's easy to make things with the wool. So they'll dye it beautiful colors and they'll make whatever it is that they're making from the wool of the llama. Okay. Also on 75, sometimes parrots are brought from the jungle and they sell it in the market. The people in Peru can buy a parrot for a pet. So you'll find parrots in Peru as well. Look at these beautiful parrots. You'll find them. You can just actually go out in the marketplace and buy them. So that means parrots are a common pet for the people in Peru. So in Peru, soccer is one of their favorite games to play. They don't call it soccer in Peru, they call it football. It's not the same football as our football. We think of our football like you throw the football, but in Peru, their football is soccer to us. Like how you kick the ball, that's soccer to us, but to them, they call it football. But their favorite sport in Peru is soccer. A lot of the people live in mountain villages, so they'll have villages in the mountains in Peru. Okay, so that's our country, Peru. So Peru, there's a lot of farmers. They grow a lot of different crops like potatoes, tomatoes, coffee beans, cotton. They use llamas to both carry things for them, but also they'll use the llama's wool. They dye it beautiful colors and they make things with the wool from the llama. Okay, and also they have parrots. They sell parrots sometimes in the marketplace, and they'll sell the parrot. That's a pet that a lot of people have. And so let's look at their flag. Their flag is red and white. Kind of looks like the Mexico flag a little bit. Pretty similar, except Mexico had a green part on their flag. But Peru, their flag is very similar to the Mexican flag. Okay? So the people from Peru are called the Peruvian people because they're from Peru. I'm sure some people do speak English in Peru, but that's not like their primary language in Peru. Yes, the people are called Peruvian and they do speak Spanish as well.
Peruvian, like we call the Americans.
We're called Yep, they're called Peruvian. The Canadians are called Canadian. The Mexicans are called the Mexicans.
Yeah, because under our
it's in your name. Well, yeah, and your name behind the country you're in.
American flag.
Like
one day I saw a Chinese person talk English.
Well, yeah, they can speak other languages, but their primary language meaning what they actually speak.
That's what one time my mama saw a Mexican person like,
all right. Sorry. Okay. So that's Peru. So let's go ahead and look at 76. We're not going to test on this country. Well, I just want to go over it. It's called the Bahamas. It's actually an island.
I went there before.
Okay, remember we talked about islands before. Island is the land completely surrounded by water. Well, the Bahamas is an island. As you can see, look at their flag. Totally different from the flags that we've been looking at. So the Bahamas is a beautiful, warm and sunny place. If you're looking for somewhere that's warm, sunny with beaches, that's the place to visit. So Bahamas is a Spanish word that means shallow water. The people speak English. They drive on the opposite side of the road in Bahamas. And the iguana, the great iguana, lives in the Bahamas. And also you can find a lot of flamingos in the Bahamas. So it's a beautiful island completely surrounded by water where you'll see a lot of beautiful animals and fish. You could go snorkeling there. You could see the coral reefs. If you want to take a vacation, guess where is a great place to go? The Bahamas. Awesome. All right, so that's your social studies. So this week we're in South America, and next week we're moving on to our new continent where we'll actually be for a couple of weeks. So we visited South America this week with Peru. Bahamas is not in a continent. It's just in the Caribbean, in the islands. Okay. I may ask some questions on it too, but it's not gonna be like the primary thing.
I was about to do this.
All right, so let's look at science.
This is me when I was in the Bahamas.
Okay, cool. Wow, nice. Very beautiful beach.
And this is mom. I always wanted to be in the page. She was like, I want to be on there.
All right, let's look at 85, the hardworking ants.
Yay!
I was gonna do one, but I'm gonna break it into two.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
That's a lot of things to read. Do we have 86 too? Oh, yep. 86. We got to do all the way to the end about ants. Queen ant. Miss Lucas, are we going to do the
Which
queen
page
ant?
is
Look at them. They're eating some orange stuff. I can't believe it. It looks so juicy.
Susan? Which page?
85.
Miss Lucas, guess what? One time I saw a maggot carrying their food. Carrying
Oh, Maggie.
One day I saw a scorpion, and then they left.
Goodbye. 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 Mute.
So we were gonna do a full lesson on ants, but I'll break it into two. So we'll just do 85 to 87 today, okay? So the hard-working ants. So ants are really special because they're one, there's other insects, but they're one of the insects that the Bible talks about. There's a scripture in Proverbs that talks about the ants. Because ants are such hard workers, and the Bible tells us that we should look to the ant. And if we want to know how hard we should work, look at an ant. They're small, they're tiny, but they work so hard to get things done. They work very hard to get things done. They don't stop because of their size, they're tiny. No, they work super hard. So that's what we'll talk about this week, the hard-working ants. So if you've ever been on a picnic, you most likely had some guests you didn't invite, right? Soon as you drop something, when you look, guess who consumed it?
The ants.
The ants. Ants. And so ants, they like to eat. And they will find, as soon as a piece of food shows up, guess who's going to come? The ants. They'll show up to get the food. So, of course, we know an ant has to have 10 legs, right? Because he's an insect, right? 10 legs?
No, 6.
Thank you. Yeah, he should have 6 legs. An ant will have 6 legs because he is an insect, right? Ants also bite. That's how we know ants. Sometimes to protect themselves, they'll bite because if they feel like they are in danger, they'll snap you and bite you. Okay, let's look at 86.
I was sitting in the mud and not even knowing it was all on me, like on my legs.
Sometimes they just show up out of nowhere.
I accidentally stepped in an ant pile.
All right, so if you've left some crumbs, an ant may carry them away. She can carry things up to 6 times as big as they are. So we know ants are super, super tiny, but they can carry things that are 6 times their size. So say if an ant is this, like an ant is maybe this mouse here, right? An ant can carry something like a book.
No way.
Because yes, they can. I've seen it. Yes, they can carry things up to 6 times their size. They can carry, look at that ant on the picture. They're carrying a big leaf. I've seen an ant carry a chip before.
A big leaf.
Yeah. So ants can carry things up to 6 times their size. So that means they're strong. Because to us, it's like, oh, that's not heavy. But of course, to a little ant, that probably is heavy. We can't carry things 6 times our size, right? Have you ever picked your parents up before? No.
Yeah.
I don't know how that went, but you don't need to. The ant does. So the ant can pick up things we can't, but the ants can. The ants you saw on your picnic are called the workers. So there's different kind of ants that live in an ant colony, an ant family. You have the worker ants. The workers do all of the work for the ant colony. That's what you call a family of ants, a colony. They do all the work. So that means when food is out, they go get it and they bring it back to the colony. The ant colony can have thousands of ants, so the workers are very busy. And I'm sure if you've ever touched an ant pile before, it wasn't just one or two ants that came out, right? It was a bunch of them, thousands, hundreds of them that come out at one time. So the worker ants, they work hard for all of the ants that live in that colony. They work hard to make sure that all of the ants are provided for and they have what they need. Let's look at 87. What do ants eat? The workers must find food for everyone back at the ant nest. So that's one of their jobs. They find food for everyone in the ants colony. So that's a big job for them, right? They have to feed those thousands of ants. Grown-up ants' throats are too small for them to eat food. Only the baby ants are the ones who will eat food. The small ants do not. I mean, the adult ants do not eat food because their throats won't allow them to eat food. They can only drink juices. So whenever you see an ant carrying food, the ant is actually bringing the food to the babies. The babies are the only ones who can actually eat food. The worker ants will bring juice to the adult ants. The adult ants, they only can drink juices. Now, what's cool about the worker ants is God gave them an extra stomach. God gave them an extra stomach because they have their stomach. Then they have an extra stomach where they can store juice in the extra stomach. And when they go back to the colony, guess what? They give that extra juice to the adults because, again, the adults cannot eat food. They can only drink juices. So the worker ant will store that juice in his extra stomach. And when he gets back to the colony, he'll give the juice to the adult ant. So that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool that they can do something like that. They can store, but that's why God gave them an extra stomach so that they could store the food in their extra stomach. Okay, so the worker ants, they make sure all of the ants in the colony have food. They make sure that all of the ants can eat. If they're eating and healthy, guess who it's because of the worker ant. So an ant family is called a colony, and the worker ants are responsible for taking care of the colony. They make sure that everybody in the colony has what they need. Okay. All right, so we'll stop here. I'm going to break it into 2 lessons because we'll do more about the what else the workers do, and then we'll go into the queen. And that I want to save that for next week. Okay, so we're just going to talk about what ants do, what their family is called a colony, and a job. The biggest job the worker ants have is providing food for all of the ants. They'll provide food for the babies and then juices for the adults because the adult ants can only drink because they can't swallow. Okay. All right. So that was it with our science on this week on ants and social studies. We visited South America, Peru. We'll look at some pictures maybe tomorrow and stuff about that. Okay. So that was all of our lessons for the day. Well, let's go over verbs real quick. What is a verb?
A verb is a word that doesn't act.
One more time. What is a verb?
A verb is a word that doesn't action.
So verbs are action words. Can you give me some examples of some actions? What you got?
Run.
Jump.
Walk.
Walk. Run. What else you have?
Talk.
Smile.
Jump.
Talk.
Play.
Anybody have one? Play online?
That.
Play.
Jump.
You said jump. Type. Walk. Kick.
Bird.
Flip. What you said? Brush. Fly. Okay. Good. So all of these are examples of verbs. Good job. All right. So this week your test will be our last test on verbs. We're moving on to adjectives next week. So that'll be fun.
Miss Legend. Look at this.
Oh, cool. What is that?